Hey guys, what's going on? It's Andy Elliott. In this video, I wanted to share something with you that I think will inspire a lot of you guys to really start training harder and, push more into learning, okay? And I want to tell you something. Listen, this is important. As someone who stuttered, as someone who couldn't complete a sentence, as someone who I was told to get up in front of the class and read a piece of paper and honestly was like, what, had red face, scared, couldn't even talk. Everybody was laughing at me. Like embarrassed, right? I don't know if any of you can relate with this, but somebody who had no confidence, who honestly was like, didn't want to talk out in front of people. That was me. By the way, I'm an introvert. Okay, so some of you see me now, you see me all over the world. I'm on stage in front of 30,000 people, and I'm training, I'm teaching people how to sell. And you're like, dude, how did you go from that guy to that guy? So this video is about how I learned to sell. And if you listen to me, number one, I think it's going to give you the blueprint to teach you how to sell and maybe fill a hole. And by the way, I'm not going to make it a long video. I just want to share my story with you because I think we're the same. I think you guys are the same as me, and I think I'm the same as you. And I think that whenever I was wanting to sell, I think there were some key people at a certain time in my life that took me to another level. And I think this video is going to take you, matter of fact, I know this video is going to take you to another level. Now, this is super important. We got to lay the foundation, all right? There's three things that I'm going to talk about when I talk about how I learned to sell that I think are very important for you to hang on to. Number one, trick yourself into it. Okay, you've heard me say this, but I said I've had poverty and scarcity beaten into me at a core level as a kid, and abundance mindset, abundance thinking, and making a lot of money and becoming great was not in my DNA. So I tricked myself into it. And you're going to have to trick yourself into it too. By the way, that's a freaking skill. Okay, number two, train yourself into it. Okay, but I learned I can trick myself into something right now, but it takes a little bit of time to train myself into it. Does that make sense? So I'm going to teach you how I train myself into it. And number three, I'm going to tell you this one right here made me dangerous. I can solve conflict. Conflict resolution is one of the most greatest skills on planet Earth because I learned something, and you're going to learn it right now. In an argument, if someone wins, no one wins. You don't ever want to be right. You don't ever want to win. Are you ready? Your goal is to resolve. And I learned that if I can resolve conflict resolution, oh my gosh, I was dangerous. In negotiations, so I'm not a fighter, right? But I learned whenever people fight, in the beginning when you're a new fighter, you get in the ring and like you're breathing really hard. You're going crazy because I've seen him, right? But then that pro dude, he's got his breathing down and he works the hell out of you. And you're like, dude, this guy in here is making this look easy. It's because they're calm and they're relaxed. You know what I learned? I tricked myself. And by the way, I want you to know this. I tricked myself at 18 years old. I was to get a job in sales. And I was that didn't believe in myself guy, low self-belief, no self-esteem. Self-esteem's a big one. Didn't keep my word to myself. Look in the mirror, didn't like what I saw. Everybody made fun of me. Everybody laughed at me. Everybody bet against me. Everybody put a boundary on me and said, that guy's not going to make it. I was totally labeled. And to be honest, because I'm being vulnerable here, I labeled me also. I got a job in sales, and are you ready? And by the way, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I got lucky. The first day I got lucky. Thank you, God, for giving me one lucky sale that would show me my way out. Right now, I want you to write this down. Sales is my way out. And if I can teach you sales on this video and I can show you this little testimony that I'm about to give you, this is going to be your testimony. And by the way, if you've been in sales for a couple years and you haven't had your breakthrough, why don't you listen up right now and you're about to get it? And if you're about to get into sales, why don't you listen to this? It's going to show you how to get it. And if you've been doing it for 30 years and you're a veteran and you lost your fire and you lost your edge, listen up because I'm going to bring back the freaking heat. Okay? So I don't care where you're at. This is going to light you up, but I'm going to share something with you at the end. For those of you that stay with me to the end, and this won't be a long video, I'm going to give you this. The number one question that I'm asked, the number one prediction or the number one predictor, how will I know if a salesperson will make it? I get asked this all the time. Andy, how do I know if I'll make it? Those of you that stay with me till the end, I'm going to write it right here. It's one word. And if you can obtain this one word at the end of the video, I'm going to share it with you. Guess what? You're going to freaking kill everybody. Hey guys, every day I see in the comment section that people are like, Andy, how can I train with you? How can I get close to you? I'm a sales leader, I'm in sales, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner. Listen, if you want to coach with me, I want to help you. Look, there's a link below on this YouTube video. If you just go down below, there's a link in this YouTube video. And basically, if you click on it, all I ask for is your name and your phone number, and it says, what do you want to learn from me? And by the way, it gives me permission to reach out to you. If you'll fill that out, I will personally reach out to you and we will make a game plan. Now listen, I want to say it one more time. Let's get back to the video. If you've been watching my content, if you want a breakthrough, if you want to change your life, you want to go to another level, whether you're broke and you're trying to look for the breakthrough, or you're at the top of your game and you operate from the state of madness like me and you're just a psycho for learning, I am that coach that wants to push you hard. And so if you're ready for a breakthrough this year, go down, click on that link, fill out the information. It gives me permission to reach out to you. We're in a new era, right? And I always laugh at it and I say, man, you give me the right to push you, I promise you, this coach is going to change your life. So go click on that link. I love you guys. I'll reach out to you myself. Fill out your information. Do it right now. And then let's get back to the video. You're going to be dangerous. You'll be unstoppable. So mom left when I was 2, 5 brothers and sisters, Jerry Springer shit show. Grew up. Nobody ever said I could be great. I didn't ever think about being great. I never had more than $5 in my hand at one time. My best friend's older brother was a general manager at a car dealership. And one night, me and him were messing around. I'm 18 years old. And he says, hey, Andy, why don't you come sell cars for me? And by the way, a tornado had smoked the town that I lived in, which is Moore, Oklahoma, the movie The Twister. That's where I lived. It had smoked the town. So I was picking up debris and making $200 a week for working 12 hours a day. I had fiberglass all in my body. And I just, what else am I going to do? I don't know what to do. I'm not smart. I'm not going to college. My family didn't come from money. I hadn't paid attention for 18 years. What am I going to do? And he says, Andy, sales guys make $5,000 a month selling cars. Dude, listen, I never had $5 in my hand at one time. One time my grandpa gave me $5. And I said, dude, if I had $5,000, I'd be rich. I didn't have a car, didn't have clothes. You know what he said? I'm going to give you some clothes. I'm going to pick you up tomorrow morning. You're riding me to work. Dude, man, listen, what that guy did for me, giving me an opportunity, if you listen to the rest of my video here, I'm going to show you your way out. And I'm going to show you that this is real. And I'm going to show you, you can go and get anything you want if you learn how to sell. And I'm going to tell you my story. And I'm going to tell you this. It wasn't awesome, but I'm going to tell you how I did it. And if you can do what I did, you're going to get the same results I got. Matter of fact, you'll be 10 times better than me. I went into work, and as I go and we pull up into the car dealership, he goes, Andy, I'm going inside and I'm having a sales meeting with the team. I need you to stand outside on the porch, the front of the building. And he goes, and if someone pulls up, tell them we're in a meeting. We'll be there in just a minute. Cool, no problem. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm at a random place. I'm standing out front. I'm wearing his clothes, and I'm in the front of a car dealership at 18 years old. And they're all having a meeting. And guess what? This old man pulls up. And I'll never forget, man, I love my grandpa. My grandpa was great. He was a great man. I loved him to death. This guy reminded me of my grandpa, dude, like straight up. By the way, have no sales skill, don't know rapport, don't know none of that. I don't know. You know what? I'm just a normal kid. I'm standing there. This guy pulls up and he says, hey, I want to look at that truck. I said, okay, cool. I said, look, it's my first day here. They're all in a meeting. As soon as they get out, I'll have someone come out here. He said, I don't need no salesman anyways. I just need to get the keys. I just want to peek in it. Can you go inside and get the keys for me? I said, sure. And I walked in and I just remember I said, hey, can I get the keys to that truck? Guy handed them to me. I walked outside, walked over to the truck. This guy goes, get in. I'm like, okay. So I get in the truck. Me and him go for a drive. I don't know whether we're going left, going right, whatever. It was in a place called Midwest City, which I lived in more. And so I wasn't familiar with the area, but he was, and he was just driving everywhere. And I was sitting in the seat. We're laughing. We're cracking up. I ain't trying to sell him nothing, dude. I don't even know what sales is. I don't even know what my job is. But I know that this is where I was going to go and I can make good money and this is my way out and it's my first day. And anyways, we rode around for about 30 minutes and, he's checking it out and we're laughing. And dude, little would I know that I would be building rapport and building a relationship. And you know what's crazy? And I want you to write this down. I spoke to this guy with familiarity. I wasn't trying to tear the wall down and fact find, qualify. And You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have to prove to me he was going to buy before I gave him my best. I was just being cool, man. I didn't know what was going on. Sometimes people get too smart and they go broke. And I learned for the first couple of years in sales, I would learn to make $500,000 in the first 2 years of sales per year by dumbing it down while everybody else got too smart. Write that down. People that get too smart too quick go broke. Stay dumb. Okay? I know that sounds crazy and it's kind of like counterintuitive to me telling you to train. But people that get too smart for their own good end up losing. Okay? And so I would laugh, we would joke. I pulled back up into the car dealership, not knowing what we're doing. And as soon as we did, there was a salesman that walked right out. And I remember, I don't know who anybody is, but he walked out and he goes, "Hey, sir, how you doing?" And he shook the old man's hand and he goes, "Hey, my name's James Hensel," was the guy's name. I would never forget it. And he goes, "I'm one of the veteran sales guys here." He's brand new. It's his first day. He has no idea what he's doing. He said, "So if you like the truck, I'll take it from here and I'll kind of take care of the rest." Dude, this old man goes, "Hey, listen, we're doing just fine. We don't need anyone else. We're totally good. If I buy the truck, I'm going to buy it from him." And I don't even know what's going on. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. He's like, I bought tons of trucks. This isn't a problem. We go inside. I would sit down. I want to tell you how dumb I am. I want to tell you how you can be someone on this call right now. You can not be very smart. You can be dumb. You can literally not even know anything. And you can learn sales and you can train yourself and you can become one of the most dangerous people on planet Earth. And today I am a psycho salesperson. I'm very good. This is how I learned to sell. My first transaction. I would go inside and my manager, as I sat down with the guy, he said, "I would like to see some numbers on the truck." I go into my manager. My manager said, "Go have him fill out this credit app." And so I walk in there and this is 1999. Okay. It's 2025 at the time I'm making this. This is a long time ago. And I hand him this piece of paper and he filled out the credit app and he gave it to me. I walked back to my manager and I handed him the paper and I remember he typed some stuff in and he goes, "Oh man, this guy's gold." Now I don't know a lot, but I know like gold is good, right? And so he goes, "Let me get another salesman to go in. Like this guy, this is a good deal." And I'm like, okay. And so another salesman goes in there and the guy stands up and walks out and he kind of waves over at my manager and does this. And my manager gets up out of the tower and I'm standing there next to him and I don't even know what's going on. And he goes, "I'm going to say this one more time. If someone else comes in here to talk to me other than that young man, I'm going to leave." And what does a deal even look like? What is a car deal? What are we doing here? It's my very first morning. And my manager walks in. You know what he says to me? He goes, "You did your job so good. There's this thing called product knowledge that 99% of my salespeople here know. And there's people knowledge." He goes, "You know people. This guy freaking loves you." He goes, "Dude, you're going to do really good." And at that point, I was like, dude, I might make it here. I ain't even sold nothing yet, but it feels good. I like what he's telling me. You know what I mean? Next, he would write down some numbers on a piece of paper that would kind of look like this. A, $400 a month, $2,000 down. B, and it kind of looked like this, $700 a month, and then it was like 0 down. And there was like 2 places to sign. And that was all that was on paper. So I said, "Okay, sir," I said, "Great news. These are the numbers and you just sign which one you want." And the guy looked at me and he asked one question and I felt like the biggest idiot, but I didn't lie. I just didn't understand what was going on. And this is why I'll tell you, I say, dude, relationships kill objections. If people love you, in spite of you not knowing enough, if they love you, they'll still buy from you, okay? You can lower the price as cheap as you want. If they don't like you, they're still not going to buy from you. People will pay for more for somebody they like. And I would learn this at 18 years old, my very first day. This guy asked me a question. I bet you're wondering what question he asked me. You know what he said? Hey guys, every day I see in the comment section that people are like, "Andy, how can I train with you? How can I get close to you? I'm a sales leader. I'm in sales. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner." Listen, if you want to coach with me, I want to help you. Look, there's a link below on this YouTube video. If you just go down below, there's a link in this YouTube video. And basically, if you click on it, All I ask for is your name and your phone number, and it says, what do you want to learn from me? And by the way, it gives me permission to reach out to you. If you'll fill that out, I will personally reach out to you and we will make a game plan. Now listen, I want to say it one more time. Let's get back to the video. If you've been watching my content, if you want a breakthrough, if you want to change your life, you want to go to another level, whether you're broke and you're trying to look for the breakthrough, or you're at the top of your game and you operate from the state of madness like me and you're just a psycho for learning, I am that coach that wants to push you hard. And so if you're ready for a breakthrough this year, go down, click on that link, fill out the information. It gives me permission to reach out to you. We're in a new era, right? And I always laugh at it and I say, man, you give me the right to push you, I promise you, this coach is going to change your life. So go click on that link. I love you guys. I'll reach out to you myself, fill out your information, do it right now, and then let's get back to the video. What's the interest rate? Well, I've never learned about money. I didn't pay attention in school. My parents didn't have money. No one had money. No one ever talked to me about money. I honestly don't know what the hell an interest rate is. And so I just said, the interstate? And we had a highway right out the window. And I remember I said, the interstate? And I know what the hell to say. And he goes, I'll do B. You did a good job today. I'll take the truck. At that point, I would learn. Do your job, make people love you, be a good person. And by the way, I'm going to tell you how I got good at sales. Remember I said in the beginning, trick yourself. Okay? I had to trick myself that I belonged in that dealership even when I didn't. Even when I didn't have this, I didn't train myself yet. But I tricked myself that I believed that I belonged there. He would sign it. I'd go back, give it to my manager. My manager, the second I brought him the piece of paper, he goes, are you freaking kidding me? He goes, get this guy in the finance office right now. I don't know what the hell the finance office is, but some guy came in. We took him to the back office. He's back there signing some papers. He goes, go wash this guy's truck and pull it back around. He said, Andy Elliott, sales tower. And I was standing outside. I remember this, back where I started, okay, watching the lot again, looking for someone else like him. And he said, Andy Elliott, sales tower. And I walked in there and he goes, you know how much money you just made? And I exactly what I said. I said, if I just made $5 where I can go buy a Subway sandwich, because I'm freaking starving, dude. It's like 5:30 in the afternoon. I said, dude, I'd be fired up. And he goes, you just made $1,700 commission. Plus, tomorrow morning, you hit the high gross spiff of the month, which means you hit the biggest deal out of the whole store all month on your first day. I'm going to give you a $500 cash in fist spiff. I said, what? He goes, I'm going to give you $500 in the morning. And he just made $1,700. I made $2,200 my first day. You know what happened? When he said that, my blood started to go through my veins differently. And I'm going to tell you what I did. Now I'm going to tell you how I learned. That was my first deal. You know what I learned? All those other salespeople, every morning my manager put on a 30-minute training and ain't nobody paid attention. You know what my manager made me do every morning? He made me practice shaking his hand every morning. How you doing, Andy Elliott? Welcome to the store. Are you here for sales or service? How can I serve you today? It's an honor to help you. Boom, over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And I remember shaking his hand, going back, shaking his hand, going back, shaking his hand. He doesn't, no, put your hand like that. No, put your hand like this. Put your shoulder down like that. Look at me in the eye, Andy. Don't look down. Look at me in the eye, Andy. Move your feet back like that. He's got a wife. Shake her hand. Here's the kids. Smile at the kids. And dude, I remember everybody being like, oh man, I just want to sell something, man. This is stupid, dude. This is stupid. Those guys all quit. Those guys are all losers. Those guys all became nothing. And I'm going to tell you something. From going zero at 18, $0. Okay, I'd make 125 grand my first year selling cars. I'd make 225 my second year. I'd make $500,000 plus my third year selling cars. I was 20 to 21 years old making $500,000 a year. I want you to understand what I did. I became a psycho for learning. Okay, I want you to understand this. Every single day I trained, every time I had an opportunity to go to a seminar event, I could buy, back then it was VCR tapes, it was CDs, it was MP3s, it was anything that I could get my hands on to learn. I want you to know something. In between customers, I had a rule. It was a 3-step rule. I want you to understand this. Most people would never do something like this. This wasn't the company's rule. This is my freaking rule. Either you're selling something, you're looking for something to sell, or you're training to get better. So if I was outside and I was waiting on the lot, you know what I was doing? I was looking for a customer, and I had a cassette player, because back that's what we had. And I would be listening to sales training in my head while I was looking for a customer. Second a customer pulled up, boom, take them off, go out there and get them. Okay? If I wasn't looking for something to sell, you know what I was doing? I was on the phone dialing all day long. Boom, boom, boom. I had a non-negotiable. Every day, I had to sell 2 cars or make 200 phone calls, or I didn't go home. See, I want you to understand something. When you have a non-negotiable, you will become great. How many of you right now don't have a non-negotiable? And then if you made one, would not waver off of it? See, this is how I learned how to sell. And what I learned is that so many people in the sales world, I want you to listen to me, they come in, they go out. They come in, they go out. They're like a feather being blown around in the wind. What do you want? That's all that matters. Okay? So number one, you're going to have to trick yourself that you belong. You have to trick yourself that this is your $1 million payday. And by the way, the world right now, because we're in 2025, the time I'm making this video, everybody shows the freaking highlight reel. Everybody shows the victory lap. Everybody shows the $1 million payday, but they don't show the freaking grind in that conference room for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of me shaking my manager's hand over and over and whiteboarding out different objections. Him hit me with every objection under the sun. Real sales training is repetition, repetition, repetition. He would say no, I had to get him to say yes. He would laugh and say, that's stupid. He would say no again, I had to get him to say yes. He would laugh and say, Andy, that's stupid. And then he would say no again, and I'd have to get him to say yes. And he'd say, Andy, you're a dummy. This is what I told you to say. Write it down on the piece of paper and then go to the whiteboard, go to the chalkboard and write it 50 times and come back and say it again. And so many people, you know what they'd say? Man, screw you. I don't have to do this. You know what I knew? Anybody that could do something better than me, I was obsessed. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys something, okay? And I'm not going to run this video for too long. This is how I learned how to sell. But let me tell you how I learned how to close. Are you ready? So back in the old days, there wasn't such thing as like a manager that would come in and like close your deal for you and like give you the money. See, we're in a world full of prima donnas right now where literally salespeople, they go and like, if they can't close a deal, like the manager will come in, close it for them and give them the commission. Bull. Dude, when I freaking grew up, dude, if you couldn't close a deal, if the manager even smelt that the customer wasn't on fire with you, they'd be like, available salesperson, sales tower, and they'd get a new salesperson. They'd cut your deal up right there. They'd rip you off that. That wasn't your customer. That was their customer, the company's customer, man. That wasn't yours. You didn't pay to get that customer in there. That's the company's customer. So you know what they did? They took a salesperson who were better than you and they'd have them go close your deal. Man, dude, when you spent 2.5 hours with somebody and then someone comes in for 2.5 minutes and takes half your commission, you know what? That's humbling. But you know what I learned? I want to know what they were saying. That's all I cared about. See, the price of success is expensive. And a lot of people, they quit because of their ego. And I'm going to tell you, these guys that were better than me, you know what I did? I was so thankful every time one of them came in to cut me up, because you know what I did? That I would always leave, because the rule is the guys that were the better closers, they didn't tell you what they said. They want to keep cutting you up. They want to keep taking half your money. So they don't want you to know what they're saying because they can't take your money no more. So when they come in, they'd say, hey, Andy, can you go ahead and step out and let me talk to these nice customers for a minute? And then I'd have to walk out. They would say something. I would see that they shook their hand and closed them. And then literally I'd be like, what'd you say? And they was like, nothing. They wouldn't tell me. And so, dude, I started getting really sneaky. As soon as I walked out, I would come back around and I'd be like around that corner like that. And then, dude, I would listen to everything they said and I'd memorize it and I'd learn to do it exactly like they did. And then I'd learn how to do it even better. And you know what I learned? I learned that anything that anyone else can do, I could also learn to do and eventually do it better. And dude, over the next couple years, I would go up into management, which I learned, by the way, I'm not saying this negative for you managers, but being a manager is actually a demotion. It's not a promotion, because when I'm a sales guy, I get paid X amount of percentage all on my own. But then when I'm in charge of other people, now I get paid a small amount of percentage on everybody. But remember, I'm a badass, I've always been the best, but then I got all these other guys that don't care. So now I got to learn how to build all these leaders and build all these new people. And then I got to recruit other people, and I got to get out the week, and I got to build me a badass team. Okay? Because that's what happens when you're in management. You're not going to make any money if you don't have a great team. And so I learned each one of these things. Everybody had to learn how to sell, but nobody got great. Nobody got great. Okay? Number one, unless they trick themselves into it. First and foremost, they brainwash themselves that this is what I'm going to do till the day I freaking die. I love this. If you're in sales and you say, I don't like sales, you're never going to make it. Even if I didn't like it or like it, it didn't matter. I tricked myself into it that I freaking loved it. I trained myself into it. I trained like a son of a bitch every freaking day long, all day long. I trained like hell all day long. I out-trained everybody. I couldn't even sleep. I took my TV off the wall, had a freaking whiteboard on the wall. Okay? I don't want to watch TV. Okay, I ain't got time for that. And then I solved without confrontation. Everybody else used to butt heads with everybody. I didn't butt heads with nobody. Everybody loved me. And I'm going to finish with one thing that I did right. And I know that you guys can take this right now too. You can take it from me. What is the number one predictor if a salesperson is going to make it? Okay, by the way, right now I want you to subscribe to the channel if you're watching this. Share it with a friend. Share the video. Come on, share it. Like it, okay? Hit your notification bell. Make sure you set your notifications. Because if you don't set your notifications, when I drop a banger, you're not going to know about it. Okay? Are you ready? Hey guys, every day I see in the comment section that people are like, Andy, how can I train with you? How can I get close to you? I'm a sales leader. I'm in sales. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. Listen, if you want to coach with me, I want to help you. Look, there's a link below on this YouTube video. If you just go down below, there's a link in this YouTube video. And basically, if you click on it, all I ask for is your name and your phone number, and it says, what do you want to learn from me? And by the way, it gives me permission to reach out to you. If you'll fill that out, I will personally reach out to you, and we will make a game plan. Now listen, I want to say it one more time. Let's get back to the video. If you've been watching my content, if you want a breakthrough, if you want to change your life, you want to go to another level, whether you're broke and you're trying to look for the breakthrough, or you're at the top of your game and you operate from the state of madness like me, and you're just a psycho for learning, I am that coach that wants to push you hard. And so if you're ready for a breakthrough this year, go down, click on that link, fill out the information. It gives me permission to reach out to you. We're in a new era, right? And I always laugh at it and I say, man, you give me the right to push you, I promise you, this coach is going to change your life. So go click on that link. I love you guys. I'll reach out to you myself. Fill out your information. Do it right now. And then let's get back to the video. This is it. Conviction. I always believed everything I said was the way it was. In a world where most people, honestly, are lost, they struggle to make decisions, they don't know who they even are, I knew who I was. I always say this, a guy can tell you what he does, but a lot of people don't know who they are. I freaking know who I am. I know what I do. I tricked myself into believing that sales was the greatest thing that was ever invented on planet Earth. And little did I know that 3% of the sales world would run 97% of the rest of the world. Because no company grows without sales. And every person in the world wants to have a big, awesome freaking life. And if you want one, you know the most valuable person on planet Earth? Salespeople. You know the people that never have to worry about finding a job? The people that never have to worry about anything? You know the people that never have to worry about anybody putting their thumb on them? Salespeople. You can learn how to sell and be a good leader, you're going to get rich. Conviction would be the thing that I would say, if any of you are watching this, this is the thing that separates the pros from the amateurs. Conviction. And you may say, Andy, how can I get better at conviction? Okay, let me give you one, and then we're going to cut this off. If you want to increase your self-esteem, if you want to increase your self-belief, if you want to increase your self-worth, okay? Take good care of yourself and keep your word to yourself. If you say you're going to do something, do it. To you. If I say I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym, do it. I'm going to ask you guys all a question. Would you guys stay in a relationship with somebody that constantly lied to you? No, none of you guys would. You would hate that person. And the reason why a lot of you don't like yourself and you can't have conviction is because you don't keep your word to yourself. So really quickly, if I was going to give you self-esteem, self-belief, self-confidence, self-worth, you'll never out-earn your own self-worth. You want to make more money, you got to get your self-worth up. You got to value yourself. How do you do that? Keep your word to yourself and to me. That bleeds into trust with yourself. Trust flows into the customer, and that is conviction. And by the way, now you talk about persuasion and influence and all these other things, and it never stops, right? But listen, this is a superpower. This is the quick highlight reel of how I learned how to sell. I've got thousands of sales stories, but that's how I got started. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. If you haven't got your breakthrough yet, let's just say you didn't get that first lucky sale, $2,200 like I did. Okay? A lot of guys didn't. You know what I'll tell you? Everyone in the world, everyone, every $1 million company, $1 billion company, and $1 trillion company out there right now is looking for high-powered salespeople to pay all the freaking money to. All of them. All of them. Every freaking one of them. So if you're sitting there and you're stuck, or you feel lost, or you feel like, I don't know what I'm going to do, become great at sales. Learn to sell, just like I did. I'm no different than you. Me and you are the same. Guys, I love you. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Okay, make sure you hit the notifications. Make sure you share this with a friend. Hey, watch the video for 10, 15 times. Maybe you stutter. Maybe you're not good at speaking. Maybe you don't have confidence. Who cares? Trick yourself into it right now. Roll with me. We'll go to the top together. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.